What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dummy Wormy. I'm coming at you another video, and I'm not happy to have to report on this, but I gotta do it either way because Nintendo of America's localization job listing requires awareness of culturalization and DEI. So I'm not happy to have to do this one because I am what you would call a Nintendrone. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I love Nintendo. I do love it. My first console was a Game Boy Advance. I know a lot of people will say that Game Boys aren't a console. Handheld gaming isn't gaming. It was my first console. I've always had a Game Boy. I went from Game Boy Advance. I even went back to get a color. I got back to go get the original Game Boy. I've been playing handheld games most of my life. Best one that ever distributed handheld games was always Nintendo. Then after that, I had a GameCube. I've had Wii's, Wii U's. I've always been a Nintendo boy. I like Nintendo first and foremost. I'm a fan of all their games. I think they're a fun time. And it sucks to have to talk about this. There is a caveat, though. And we'll be beginning to that. But when you actually come over to the job description, it gets a little scary. But you come over here. Localization Production Specialist Japanese. You come down here to what their actual description of their duties. Localization, translate game text, plays pre-production software, provides cultural and creative input regarding localization Nintendo products for the US, Canada, Latin America, contributes to the naming process for games, titles, and terminology, tests and evaluates games and products, acts as product subject matter to assist other Nintendo of America, and so on and so forth. Collaborates with localization staff at Nintendo of Europe, maintains awareness of game industry in assigned markets, and communicates market trends, then maintains awareness of culturalization and DE and I related topics, identifies issues, and proposing solutions as needed. But here's the saddest part, okay? Because this is the true reality of a lot of these companies, whether it's Nintendo, whether it's Square Enix, heck, Sony. Sony is already long gone. That's a more of an American product than actually a Japanese product, but for the sake of argument, just follow me here. All these Japanese companies that might have their parent company based in Japan that might not be woke, their America branches, their Western branches, they are all extremely woke. They push these identity politics within their localization, within their stuff, and they are woke, okay? The companies in America are woke. We have recently discovered via learning the law that Pokemon Company in America is actually hiring based on DEI stuff, and a lot of people thought the Pokemon games were going woke. In reality, the DEI companies is a forced position made by ESG funds. It doesn't shock me that Nintendo of America has ESG funds. Heck, they even have a diversity and equity and inclusion area on their actual Nintendo of America careers page. It's right here, and they go through all the things that they do, all the stuff that they focus in on. But that's how these companies are. But the reason these companies exist, the reason Nintendo of America exists, the reason you have Pokemon Company, Square Enix, all these people that on their American branches, it might not be over in Japan, but on the America branches, they have DEI positions. They have all these things. It's because of ESG. The reality of ESG is cultural Marxism. It is communism. It is a communistic ideology. So in order to have that, you must have a DIE board. You must have diversity, equity, inclusion. You must have all these very specific ideologies shoved within it to show that you are a good individual, that you are a righteous individual, and that you deserve this ESG funding. The thing that we do have to focus in on here is, how is this impacting the game? How is this impacting the story of the game? How is this impacting the language of the games? That's one of the big things that needs to be taken into account before we say Nintendo's gone woke, Pokemon's gone woke, Square Enix has gone woke, Sony. They might be putting out Stellar Blade, but Sony. We have to just admit that. So there's multiple facets when it actually comes to dealing with DEI within a company. And a lot of these more, like I've already said, a lot of these companies over in Japan, they might be rejecting this outright. Japan is full-fledged rejecting this ideology outright. But then when it comes to their Western branches is the main problem. Their Western branches are the main issue. Japanese company really only cares about dollars. They only really care about dollars. So this is an easy way to get dollars. They're going to put it out there, and they don't really usually look over here at what's going on here in the West as much. We're getting more of them actually focusing on what's going on here in the West, because a lot of people have been actually like complaining about it. They've been talking about it. It's been a big topic, but because of that, you get Japan doesn't really care. They really just throw it out here, then they move on. So it's not very shocking that, you know, a Japanese company might say, "Yeah, do it. I don't care. It's not going to affect us." Out not realizing how impactful it truly can be. So, with this all being said, the main thing here is just be vigilant, be cautious, take note of what might happen, what may happen, and this might, hey, who knows? Okay, I'm not saying it's going to be a definitive, oh my god, the next games are going to be shoved with woke propaganda. Mario's going to be trans and it's going to be awful. Oh my god. No, what I'm saying is just take note of what happens, focus in on what happens, and take it one step at a time. I do this with a lot of stuff. I think that is the best idea to move forward with. And if this stuff does impact the games, if this stuff does impact how these games play, you better believe I'm going to be one of the first people out there saying, you guys done effed up. But until I see that, I can't go very much further with this. I'm just going to leave it there, guys. Let me get your guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you guys all on the next one. Bye for now.